All right, here we are. Ryan and Geoffrey sparring, 31st of December 2019. I'm always looking to get that good dominant wrist control, controlling the space in between us. Ryan's coming up to pass. Again,
I just want to go back for a second.
Yep.
So you were just showing in the previous video, and you do this to me later in this video, holding my toes. Is that something that I could do here?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can hold the bottom of the sole of my foot or on the toes. It means it's a lot harder for me to control your wrists like that. I'm going to struggle to get hold of your hands when you're right down at the end of my leg like that. And also, it's I'm not able to pummel my leg out when you have control at the end of my toes.
Yeah.
It's not a very nice thing to say, but the reality of the fight game is that pain compliance is a very effective tool.
So is painful when you hold the toes?
It can be. Yeah, if you grab like kind of at the toe knuckles, I don't know what they're called, toe knuckles.
Yeah, toe knuckles.
Like
Sure.
Toe knuckles is a fine
And really
word.
give them a good crush, and you can get a lot of compliance that way from somebody who.
Yeah. Now that you've mentioned the holding the toes to me a couple times, I'm now looking at my grip there, grabbing your ankles, and seeing that it's not as good.
Yeah, I think from here you could be driving my feet forward over my head, and I would say perhaps in most people that would be an effective way to put them off balance, but I'm quite comfortable inverting, and so I'm not sure that for somebody, especially as you get more advanced, the purple, brown, black belts are very happy to be inverted, to have their hips brought over their face. So I would say grab right at the end of the lever on the sole of the foot and on the toe knuckles or on the foot knuckles. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Again, wide knees, keeping my feet in between us as much as possible.
Here I feel like I'm too high. I could get lower on you. Would you say that?
When you say too high, do you mean your head's too high?
Yeah, my whole body is too, like I don't have, if I got my chest to your lower back there, it would be much better.
I would definitely think
Maybe
that's
I'm
the case.
feeling though that like you're squirmy and I don't have the time, it would take too much time to shift down lower.
So a question for you, Ryan, there is, you can press play.
Yeah.
What type of pass are you going for? Because that would determine where your chest needs to be.
I guess at this point I'm double under pass. Now it's gone, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, elevating the hips like that, chest behind the hips, going for a double under. I really, really recommend that you give that a try. I think it's an excellent technique, especially against somebody who has good pummeling with their legs, which I try to do. Here I am grabbing right on your toes as before.
Yes, it's another toe. That's the toe grab.
Again, it's a very hard for you to kill that grip when I'm grabbing on the toes or the blade of the foot. It's a very, very effective grip. Yeah. Coming up again, prefer to pass than to play guard in most scenarios. Ryan, your guard's excellent. It's you're very flexible. You have good fundamentals, good framing with your arms. It was a bit of a rubbish attempt at windmill pass or something, but
Yeah, I just wanted to mention this. A lot of times what I'm thinking about now, I'm playing with this hook sweep and the cross sweep. So getting my foot into the hip, holding the ankle, and knocking my opponent over, and I'm thinking about that a lot when someone's standing in front of me.
yeah, great. I'm pinning your hand with my right arm.
So I can't grab. I've got it now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I stand to pass. It's my preferred method, and I will smash pass as well. But I think standing passing is for me, for somebody small who likes to use footwork, I find it more effective.
And that grip on my toe is so annoying.
Yeah, it really works well. I'm going to move to a reverse half guard here in a moment. One of my go-to guard passes to come in on the hip. I'm just going to pause it here. It can be dangerous, especially now as I'm sitting on your arm. And if you had used that arm and your legs to elevate me over top of you, I could have been in trouble. So right away, because I know that's the case, I'm going to create a frame on your hip with my right arm to prevent you from easily bringing me right over top of you here.
So this is a really common way of passing the passing the guard, and it's something a couple of our guys have struggled with in competition. Like Noah got hit with this a couple of times at the English Open, and there's just for your reference, Ryan, there's a really good instructional by Faraz Zahabi about how to counter this, and Geoffrey's really good at countering those counters, but if as a starting point, it might be a useful thing for you to have a look at.
Yeah. So after my frame on your hip, I'm trying to drive my right arm in between your legs to grip your leg. I didn't actually have to do that in this instance because I was your grip on my leg with your legs was so shallow. I think I was able to just drive my leg out really very quickly, and there we are. I'm out. As I mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of moving to full mount in no-gi, so this is more of a bait to try and get you to push on me with your hands so I can attack an armbar or a kimura. That's exactly what I'm going to do. This is a position I really like, and we've talked about this before. With that leg weave and a cross face, I will cook you here a little bit, allow you to kind of squirm and try and drive your back off the mat and turn into me. I know if I can weave your legs and prevent that bottom leg from being brought underneath you, you can't get up. And I'll let you cook here for a little bit. I'm moving now to a north-south, a back step, trying to, again, attack that top arm of yours. Your reversals are so good from this position. I actually have to be a lot more conservative than I would be normally against somebody else. I really don't want to get turned over or indeed have get put in a reverse triangle or something like that.
So, Ryan, what are you thinking here in terms of the counters that you're looking for? Is it just in terms of just trying to calm yourself down and trying to frame in, or are you flailing a little bit?
No, I don't feel like I'm flailing. I am just kind of staying relaxed, and I'm waiting to get some good frames and start shrimping out and regarding. That was like a kind of half-assed attempt to grab hold of something there. But for a second, I felt like I might have gotten some purchase on his head. Yeah, and then it was gone.
Yeah, that's what happens if you've got a bald head. When sweating rolling, it's just going to slip off. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Moving to north-south, perhaps, looking to attack the head. I'm a big fan. I've mentioned before in some of my classes that I'm a big fan of creating a scramble from this position, allowing my opponent to think that in that scramble they're going to come up. I find that the best attacks for a submission happen in the interim period of a scramble where the person is still thinking about perhaps getting a sweep or coming up on top, and they're not their mind is not thinking as much about defending a submission. Your defense is so good, I'm not able to catch anything here, but that's really my thoughts behind this. It's good frame on my collarbones instead of my neck here with your right arm.
Yeah, Jeff's doing a really good job of keeping that near side open, near side armpit open. Ryan Hall talks about that a lot, sort of the open elbow concept. So Jeff's doing a really good job of keeping that elbow open.
So here we go. I'm about to create this scramble, scramble for a position where I can apply a submission. It's going to happen right here, and I've given Ryan the ability to turn into me, knowing that if I'm able to drive his right arm down as he does it, I will take the back. But something interesting happens here. He turns in. He's going to try and come up to his knees in a moment. And in doing so, I'm going to try and take the back. I knew that if you turned into me, your hip as it came over was going to open up, and I was going to drive that hook in. But something you can't see here is Ryan has his right arm underneath my leg. So it's not that hook there is actually, there's a barrier there for me to be able to really secure the back properly. Yeah. So you can't see it, unfortunately, but I'm actually quite in danger of getting turned over. My only real way of preventing that is to go for an underhook wrist control on his far arm, so on what is his left arm. And that's really going to be the only thing that prevents him from turning me over onto my back.
Yeah, that far side wrist control is so important.
Yeah, you can you just about see it there, quite nearly see it there. That is, we talk a lot about it. It's just perhaps one of the best controls that you can do, almost better than a seatbelt, in my opinion. Eventually I'm going to have to bail on this, but not before I seek to perhaps apply a submission. really looking to do perhaps a triangle or an arm bar. Ryan's very good at defending, so there you can see his arm underneath my leg. I'm really looking to get to a triangle here, or perhaps go for an arm bar, but Ryan's a very canny grappler, and there he controls my trailing leg to prevent it.
Nice job, Ryan, sort of like pinning that foot down to the floor, stopping him from coming up, and then squaring back up straight away once you're inside the closed guard.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't play a lot of closed guard normally. Ryan stays very low here. He looks like he's trying to kind of do a Marcelo Garcia smash through. This permits me an opportunity to get a high guard position, which is something I will almost always do when the person stays low. The key to the high guard position is getting one of the arms on the mat. I really am completely prevented from attacking unless I'm able to get one of Ryan's arms on the mat and get an overhook control on it, and that's going to be everything that I do is try to do that.
So Ryan, what are your thoughts on kind of like passing the guard from this position here? Are you kind of waiting for Jeff to attack, or you?
I'm trying to get some posture, maybe get a good under armpit frame, and then I can start standing up.
So here
but it's not working.
No. So you can see I got your arm on the ground, and as
Yeah.
soon as I did, I'm going to go to a rubber guard. And something I used to do quite a lot when I was a younger, more flexible, more lithe person. I don't do it quite so often now. I really think that it's still very valid, especially in no-gi. And if you're wearing trousers, gi trousers, but doing no-gi is even better. I think a lot of the 10th Planet people wear trouser gis because it aids in the application of that type of technique.
That does knock me off a little bit for a no-gi school, kind of like them wearing gi trousers. I think is just kind of like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You're either going to be kind of medieval Japanese cosplayers, or you're not. You can't have it both ways.
So I hope you enjoyed that. I think again we're looking for feedback. So if you're watching this and you have something you'd like to add, please do let us know.
Us.